Tonight on the Marion Star Live, we share some footage shot inside Marion's former mall and an expansion to one of its anchor stores.
And I will share my interview with Netflix star Nicole Holmes, who is also a Marion native and very excited about all the changes that are happening here in Marion.
We'll also tell you about the donation Heartland Regional Medical Center made to Marion's new Boys and Girls Club.
And I'll share some pictures and video of events that happened at the pavilion and around the square for kids this Easter.
We'll also share some more stories from around the county and get you ready for tonight's Wildcat Game Day when the Marion High School football team plays the
All of this and so much more on tonight's Marion Star Live.
Now live from Swinford Media Group. The Marion Star, where Marion is the star.
Good evening and happy Good Friday. Welcome to another edition of the Marion Star Live. I'm Rachel Stroud.
And I'm Riley Swinford. We're coming to you live from the Marion High School campus at Wildcat Stadium, where we're getting ready for the 2-0 Marion High School football team's South 7 Conference matchup with the Mount Vernon Rams. That game will follow on our page after this broadcast, but first we want to share some news from around Williamson County.
And the first thing we're going to share with you is the inside of a building that many of us haven't seen for a long time, and that's the Illinois Star Center Mall.
Now called the Oasis, the core of the facility has been closed since 2018, but it still has 3 thriving anchor stores: Dillard's, Target, and Anderson's Warehouse Furniture.
Anderson's just moved into the former Sears wing last year and has done so well that they are expanding into the entire western wing of the mall. Here's a look at what has already been done on their expanded renovation and expansion, which will include additional merchandise when it opens, along with office space and a new delivery bay.
Most of the rest of the mall remains as you remember it, though many of the store signs and some of the glass and furnishings have been repurposed elsewhere. The developers plan a retail future for all of this space, and because details and financing are still being worked out, we can't share exactly what is coming in just yet. But big announcements are coming soon, and we'll be glad to share with you those then. The Illinois Star Center Mall opened in 1991, just a few months after the mall's anchor stores, Dillard's, Target, Sears, and Farmore. The Farmore wing has long been occupied by the Mantricon organization and has also had Pirate Pete's restaurant and game facility. Part of that wing is also being used for warehouse space for now. Now 30 years after construction, the facility remains sound and still quite nice in most areas. There are some problems with leaking skylights, and many of the dozens of decades-old heating and air conditioning units need to be replaced. Lighting is being updated, and trees and plants you remember are being maintained. When it closed, court cases and bankruptcy clouded the mall's future. During his campaign for office in 2019, Mayor Mike Absher asked the community to envision a revitalized mall and said he hoped investors and developers would catch his vision. The owners of the Black Diamond Harley-Davidson, located just east of the mall property, saw the potential. They formed a new corporation, Marion Center Project LLC, and out of their success, they have a desire to develop an attraction on behalf of other businesses in and around the mall. On July 31st, 2020, they closed on the purchase of Marion's Mall and its parking lot, which also had badly needed attention. Last fall, the mall and its surrounding area were renamed the Oasis.
At that time, the new owners resurfaced the lot and installed a large outdoor screen, which has already been used for drive-in movies, concerts, and showing sporting events. In fact, our Marion Wildcat Game Day football live streams are being shown on the screen, including tonight's game with Mount Vernon.
Updated landscaping is helping freshen up the property, and so many of the upgrades that have happened already have been supervised by Paul Geerton, who maintains the property for the developers. Paul was very helpful in giving us a tour of the property to share with you. Back inside the mall, the east wing, closest to Dillard's, will be used for a couple of upcoming vendor fairs, and many of the stores look like they could be reoccupied. There is much work and renovation to be done to the rest of the mall, which has a total floor area of about 800,000 square feet. Target is occupying 112,000 square feet in their wing, and Dillard's has 100,000 square feet. Planet Fitness has joined Anderson in the former Sears wing. The Black Diamond owners, including Rodney Cabanas, told us having Anderson's as a new anchor store speaks well of things to come. He said Lowell Anderson and his group do an outstanding job, and they've been really good for the community. The Andersons expansion will likely be the first wing of the core facility to reopen on a daily basis, possibly this year. As renovations take place, we're told that some of the glass and furnishings will be repurposed in another building the developers purchased, the former Toys R Us building, which is also being renovated for future use. As we said, big announcements are coming. Thanks to the owners of the Oasis for the tour, and we'll bring you more details as they are released.
We're looking forward to those big announcements. On Monday, I had the opportunity to talk with Netflix's newest reality TV star, Nicole Holmes, who's also a Marion native. She's super excited about all of the growth that's happening right now in her new hometown, as it has some exciting news to share herself, as she has recently taken on the lead in Netflix's reality TV show, Marriage or Mortgage. Bill and I had a great interview and visit with her through Zoom, and we're going to share that in full with you now.
In her new Netflix reality series, Marriage or Mortgage, realtor Nicole Holmes tries to help engaged couples find the perfect first home in the Nashville, Tennessee area. Despite having lived in Music City for more than 20 years, Nicole still calls someplace else home.
Even though I've been in Nashville now longer than I lived in Marion, Marion is still always going to be home to me. There's just no other way about it. All my family's still there.
Nicole joined Rachel Stroud for a Zoom interview and talked about her hometown, her life in Nashville, and her new show. Still known as Nikki to many of her friends, she is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Lynn Holmes of Marion. Her family is still active in her hometown, and her niece was a member of the Marion High School homecoming court last month.
All of them were really cute, but, obviously I'm partial to Megan.
The Holmes family has long been in the middle of Marion's growth and development.
Our family-owned construction company built the clock tower.
That is so cool.
I know. And I just love that whole downtown area. I love what they're doing with all the murals. It's beautiful. That's a big thing in Nashville, is the painted murals everywhere. And there's always lines, people lined up getting pictures. So I'm so glad that Marion's doing that too. It looks amazing.
Nicole became comfortable in front of an audience at a young age. As a teen, she won titles on the Southern Illinois pageant circuit.
How did you get started in that?
My sister made me do it. My sister and my mom, they're like, you've got and Joyce Followell. She was like, all three games up on me. They're like, you've got the dress. Like, why not get in it? So I started off doing the local pageants.
So if your mom and your sisters and friends forced you into doing the first pageant, what was like the flipping point? You're like, okay, maybe I kind of like this and want to keep doing it.
My competitive nature. Yeah, that was it. My dad always taught me, go big or go home. If you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly. It's kind of how I tackle the world. I was the very first Miss Heron Fest Italiana. I competed in Miss Williamson County. I was Miss Big Lakes. I did the Miss Johnny Logan pageant, which is an America system, which I don't excel at a talent that I can perform on stage. So first runner-up on that one. And then I competed at the Miss Illinois USA pageant in 95. It would have been November of 94, and won. And then went on to Miss USA and got second runner-up and most photogenic there.
One final name to be read, and that name is Miss Illinois Nicole Holmes. There they are, ladies and gentlemen, the sixth finalists for the title of Miss USA 1995.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of preparation. I actually did take a year off of school to just prepare, not only obviously, getting in shape for the swimsuit portion, but there was a lot of pre-interviews and things like that, just so I would be comfortable speaking in front of a large audience. And at the time, I think Miss USA was in like 80 countries or something like that. So that was, the biggest stage I'd ever had. It really is an excellent vehicle for young ladies to find out who they are. And it's not for everybody. I'm not going to lie. I have nieces. I've got girlfriends who would be are beautiful enough or gorgeous enough, smart enough to be in the pageants, and it's just not their personality. But for those that do get into it, it's an excellent vehicle to propel them on to whatever their future endeavors may be. So, and my sister had a big part of that, Michelle Holmes, who has, Joyce's Bridal in the pageant room, and she has Prepared to Win pageantry. So she is a pageant coach and I was the very first client. And then there was Autumn Waterbury from Marion, who did very well. She was runner-up at Miss Teen USA. And then she's had several. She's even had a Miss USA. She's coached girls to go on to Miss Universe. So yeah. I guess if I had to start somewhere, she was the right person to start with. Her track record is pretty darn good.
You set the bar high, though.
Nicole returned home from Miss USA as something of a celebrity, and she finished a degree in radio and television at Southern Illinois University, Carbondale.
I worked for about 6 months at W3D. I sold advertising there and did that. And then I had a job opportunity in Nashville. Yeah, moving to Nashville to get a job in television at a shopping network was the first foray out of Southern Illinois for any extended length of time. I had done, 2 and 3 months modeling in New York, LA, Chicago, things like that. I've done all kinds of print work, and I still do car commercials down here. And it was right after the shopping network was sold that I got my real estate license. And didn't use it immediately, but knew that I always enjoyed real estate and land development just simply because it is in my blood, because that's what, dad and his dad before him did. So I grew up showing apartment units. I would go with mom. And, when I'm 13, 14, 15, by the time I'm 16 and I can drive myself there and do the showings, I had the spiel down. I knew how much the damage deposit was and the rent and the bedrooms and the square footage and all that stuff. So the transition to me getting my real estate license was really quite easy. It all feels very natural. And so the combination of marriage and mortgage being real estate and TV, it's like my dream job. I'm doing the two things that I love the most. It's just brilliant.
So how did the concept for the TV show come about?
I wish I'd thought of it. I think it's a really great concept. It wasn't me, it was someone else, but the production company found me and my cohort, Sarah Miller, who is a wedding planner. And we just, they wanted to put us together and see if we had any energy or a spark or anything. So it wasn't until Sarah came to my house one morning, we were gonna do a Zoom interview with Netflix that I realized Sarah was planning my very best friend's wedding. Now, I knew my best friend was getting married. I didn't know Sarah was the one planning it. So it really was funny that when Sarah is in my house for the first time, that we realized she's planning my best friend's wedding. They want us to do this reality show together, and we've kind of been thick as thieves ever since.
Do you have any favorite moments from filming?
There are so many. One of them that comes to mind is when I was showing the couple. He was a really tall, big guy, like 6'7" firefighter. She's this little petite, was a Nashville cheerleader for the Predators. He jumps on a bed during an episode, and it's staged. So it literally is like a blow-up mattress on top of Tupperware containers, and it collapses and makes this huge sound, and we screamed. The poor sound guy, I think his ears were bleeding the rest of the day. I felt terrible. But yeah, it was so loud and so scary. And I mean, that's just real life stuff that happens. You don't see this in the show, but I actually hit a mailbox driving up to a house. I didn't damage the mailbox or the car that they had rented for us, thank God. And no one was injured. And then we had the bulldog that was with us all day long that kept passing gas in the car. That was really not a pleasant day in the car. The dog was cute. Franklin was adorable. He just had some tummy issues that day.
Would Sarah be getting her little scrawny butt out here doing this?
Little scrawny. I have no idea.
I don't know, but I have to video this.
I'm scared. Yeah,
Wait, this is gonna be Instagrammable.
Well, this is for more liability issues. Oh no, what is she doing?
Hang on, let me warm up.
Oh my goodness, she's full go. Oh my.
I hope I don't pee on myself. Oh, if today didn't prove to them the lengths I will go to get them in a house.
What is she doing?
I swear, nothing will.
What in the world?
I'm barely in one piece today. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I am so doing that
Yeah,
to Sarah.
Yeah, you should definitely do that.
All right, so kind of like a cowboy stance.
That's it.
Right.
L.
L on the head.
That's it.
There you
That's
go,
perfect.
right?
You got it.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, a few fun things happened during the filming. It's going to be interesting. if and when we get a new season. I'm putting it out there, when we get a new season, and we'll find out in April if we do. Yes, thank you. Keep watching. It's on every TV in my house right now, just streaming.
Your daughter, has she been loving mom being on Netflix, or has this been a little overwhelming?
She gets really excited. Now, she's seen me in, some print ads and magazines, at the grocery store before. And so she'll ask me when we're in line at the grocery store, and she'll say it kind of loudly. And she's, Mom, are you in this one? Are you in that one? I'm like pointing to the magazines. I'm like, oh, no, not this one. I was like, and of course, I don't look like this at the grocery store. I'm in a ball cap and no makeup and everything, but she loves it. She loves seeing me on TV, and she just keeps complimenting me and saying, Mommy, I love your new show.
A print version of this interview is in this week's Marion Star newspaper, and the entire first season of Marriage or Mortgage is now available to stream on Netflix. As she juggles the many demands on her time and waits for news of a possible second season, Nicole says she will continue to drive her daughter the 3 hours north to visit her family in Marion every couple of months. For the woman who is becoming famous for helping others find their perfect home, she and her car know where to find hers.
No, Marion's only 3 hours away. My car could make that trip with my eyes closed. It could drive itself at this point. In over 22 years, I've made the trip so often.
Thanks, Nicole. What an enjoyable interview that was. Now, when we come back from this break, we'll have another Turning Back Time for you, but with an Easter theme. You won't want to miss it, and we'll have more news to share.
When you're shopping for a new or used vehicle at Watermark, you'll notice the Warranty Forever sticker on the windshield. Here's what that actually means. The powertrain on the vehicle is covered for unlimited mileage and unlimited time. That's the engine and transmission. There's no cost to you. It covers 100% parts and 100% labor. That means when you purchase a vehicle from Watermark, you have coverage for as long as you own the vehicle. So when you think of Watermark, think of Warranty Forever and true peace of mind.
At Farmers State Bank, we prioritize not only
our customers, but the communities that we live in.
We value your unwavering trust and loyalty in being your bank.
Supporting and serving local businesses, familiar faces, friends and family.
Each and every day is a large portion of our job.
Farmers State Bank stands community strong.
As your community bank, we're committed to bringing you support, success,
and strength during this time.
Because we are
and always will be
here for you.
At Farmers State Bank, no one
serves you better.
At Farmers State Bank, no one serves you better.
May God bless you.
May God bless all of you.
Swinford Media and the Marion Star appreciate the support of the Arcadia Wealth Group, which is sponsoring Wildcat Wednesdays and our Turning Back Time segments. In 1888, a group of German pioneers who had migrated from Washington, Madison, and St. Clair counties in Illinois banded together to organize the Zion Evangelical Congregation in Marion. The first building was dedicated in 1889, and when the 20th anniversary was celebrated in 1908, a new bell tower and steeple and new bell were dedicated. At that time, the congregation numbered 46. In 1918, during World War I, and because of the German origins of the church, an attempt was made to burn the church building. War feeling was running high, but damage was slight. The Zion members decided to discontinue all services in the German language as long as the United States was involved in war. The pastor's benediction was, "Our wish and prayer is that God may look down from heaven with His grace and bring His peace to all nations." In 1924, a beautiful brick church of semi-Gothic architecture was dedicated. An educational building and a new wing were later added, and in the 1990s, the congregation voted to purchase property immediately to the east and south for future parking and to serve the community. In all these years, Zion has been committed to the work of not only its own parish, but that of the community where its pastors have held offices and worked in the Ministerial Alliance. On Easter 2020, current Zion United Church of Christ pastor John Holst took to Facebook for a somber ringing of the Easter bells during the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, good morning, friends. Happy Easter. 57 sunrise services. Today's going to be different. But I thought I'd ring the bell and let our neighbors know that Christ is risen.
While the sanctuary doors remained closed for a time, the church continued to reach out to its members and also to the public during a difficult year. Pastor Holst tells us this Easter, the church will celebrate with an outdoor Easter sunrise service on the church lawn at 7 a.m., as well as a later service inside. As always, everyone is invited. Pastor Holst also tells us that he plans to video others ringing the bells this Easter, and he'll make sure they have big smiles on their faces for Resurrection Sunday. As always, special thanks to Sam Latuca and the Marion, Illinois Historic Preservation website for their background information and photos, and to Arcadia Wealth Group for their continued support of Turning Back Time. Reporting for the Marion Star Live, I'm Bill Swinford.
Thanks, Bill. Now, Aaron Price, Bill, and the rest of our team have put together a roundup of other news and happenings in our county. Let's take a look.
A local artist is showcasing his work throughout the COVID-19 pandemic and nationwide racial unrest in America. Michael Bruce has been capturing these emotional photographs since the beginning of 2020. His exhibit is now on display at the Little Egypt Arts Association in Marion.
I'm showcasing images throughout 2020 during the shutdown and during the Floyd marches that I caught up close and personal. And I'm showcasing those because very strong images that I've captured during those times, unprecedented times that never thought we would witness before in our lifetime, and very strong imagery. And I thought it would be important to showcase those because I've captured a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling within them. So I wanted to share that with people.
Bruce tells us that the main goal of his photography is to appeal to a person's emotions. He shared with us some of his most memorable photos he has captured throughout the last year.
There's this one when I caught an individual on the street. There was nobody around. The streets were desolate. And he was sitting down on his phone, just like lost in it with a mask on. It looked rather isolated, as we all were at one time during that time. And I captured that, and there was a lot of emotion there. There's one particular one during the Floyd marches. There was a gentleman who was obviously frustrated and captured that and froze it, and that's also in the window. A lot of great images that convey that frustration during the time.
You can take a closer look at some of his work by visiting his Facebook page at Rebel Imagery. Reporting for the Marion Star Live, I'm Aaron Price.
Thanks, Aaron. This is Bill Swinford reporting. On Tuesday, I was at Heartland Regional Medical Center, where a $25,000 donation was made to the new Boys and Girls Club of Marion.
Usually what happens every year is we buy a gift for the doctors in appreciation for everything they've done. And we met together and talked about it, and the doctors agreed that this was a great program. They wanted to support the community. They didn't need another gift. They wanted to see something happen.
It's been in part of my vision when I became CEO in 2017. But we've been working hard at it for about 18 months. So we received a donation in order to purchase a building. So we have a church that is going through some renovations right now. That will be our facility. So it's about 9,000 square feet on 4 acres of land, a lot of green space for our kids to be outside. We're really excited.
How important are donations like this one today to what you do?
It's extremely important, especially in getting our Marion site open. We we are a nonprofit, so we have to raise our funds. We can't and don't want to rely all the time on grants because grants come and go.
No better organization than Boys and Girls Club nationally. They've had a great program in Carbondale for a long time. I visited that program when I was running for office. And so it's just one of the things that I felt at the time that Marion needed to pursue, and how exciting it is to actually see it coming together in this way.
Also on Tuesday, former Congressman Glenn Pichard rolled out his Clean Soil, Clean Southern Illinois initiative at Veterans Airport. He has teamed with longtime local outdoors writer Les Winkler for the anti-pollution initiative.
And I will say one thing, in the 31 years I worked at the Southern, litter was the only thing I ever wrote about that didn't get negative reaction from somebody. I wrote about little dogs and I got hate mail you wouldn't believe. I wrote about cheerleaders, I got hate mail you wouldn't believe. But you write about litter and people don't complain. Almost everybody hates litter.
Winkler shared many photos of litter he and others have taken in our region, and he and Bouchard are pledged to work with local leaders, community colleges, SIU, and students to tackle the problem. And in Heron, Aaron talked to Tamley Chandler at Granny Puckett's Cupcake Shop about a creative Easter egg experience they offered this week.
Okay, we hid 4 dozen Easter eggs all over Heron, different various locations. They find an egg and it's got a little note inside that says turn it in at the drive-through window for a free cupcake. Well, just a couple of years, the girls and I brainstormed trying to come up with some new ideas, and that's something we did not last year because of COVID, but the year before last we did it. So far as of today, we had 11 turned in. We're keeping track of how many we hid in different spots.
For the Marion Star Live, this has been Bill Swinford reporting with Aaron Price.
We'll be back with a look at a couple of children's Easter events that we've covered over the last week, and we'll get you ready for some Wildcat football. Stay with us.
The sooner we're able to see a patient after an injury, the better the outcome. What direct access means is that you can seek services for physical therapy without an order from a physician. So you can either call the clinic directly or come into the clinic and schedule an appointment to see one of our physical therapists. We can often avoid either medication use or unnecessary imaging, but we will do a thorough evaluation, and if we find a reason to referral to a specialist or to their primary care provider, we will do so.
Welcome back. Last weekend, I got the opportunity to go out to the pavilion where the City of Marion's pavilion was co-hosting a drive-through bunny visit event with the Marion Carnegie Library. Let's go take a look.
Well, we're so excited that we have the Easter Bunny here on a special trip just to Southern Illinois so that we can have some Easter Bunny pictures. Everybody has driven up and is waiting in their cars, and they come up, and because the Easter Bunny is fully vaccinated, they can take their mask off and get pictures with the Easter Bunny.
Well, since we've been dealing with COVID, so much of our programming has been virtual and online. So just getting to be out and see people and interact has been really, really fun. We're glad we're able to do this.
This reminds me of pre-COVID days when there's the hustle and the bustle of the people at the pavilion all the time. We do have the vaccines here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, which is a very good reminder of what life was like pre-COVID because of the hustle and the bustle that goes on out here. But this certainly is really amazing today.
Well, we have programs in every department, children's and teens and adults. Some of the fun things the children are going to do are we're going to be out and around town here at the pavilion, at Miners Stadium, at the Hub doing science programs, and we hope to kick off this summer with a fun color run. So very excited about that.
I'm hopeful that we'll get to the bridge phase in the very near future, which will allow us to operate again at maybe 98% capacity, not 100%, depending on the vaccination rates, but certainly that's going to allow us to be almost normal again, and that's very exciting. And with that, we have a concert scheduled for July 10th, the Jimmy Allen concert. So that will be a great thing to look forward to this summer for everyone who wants to attend.
Now that event was a lot of fun, and another event that was a lot of fun was the bunny hop that took place downtown last weekend. Children got the opportunity to walk around businesses in the downtown area and visit where the Easter Bunny left some fun surprises. Lucky the Canary from the Southern Illinois Miners was there with the Morris children. The Easter Bunny himself made an appearance, and of course there was candy galore to be had. Now my Great Pyrenees Buckley, as you can see with some sweet little bunny ears on, is excited to celebrate Sunday and hoping to find some treats of his own.
Well, that about does it for this edition of the Marion Star Live. But stay on our Facebook page and be watching for our next live stream, as in just a few minutes we'll be live here for our SIH pregame show as the undefeated Marion Wildcats look to improve to 3-0 against the Mount Vernon Rams.
Should be a good game. Now if you like what we do, be sure you give us a like, leave a comment, and share this post. Tag a friend in this video if you think that there's something we talked about tonight that they might be interested in.
Until we catch you live in just a few minutes with our SIH pregame show and coverage of tonight's exciting Marion High School football game, that will do it for this edition of the Marion Star Live.
Yes, be sure you stick around for the game tonight. For Riley, the rest of our team behind the camera, I'm Rachel Stroud. Thank you for watching and happy Easter.
The proceeding has been a production of the Marion Star Live. The material may not be reproduced, distributed, transmitted, or otherwise used without the prior written consent of Swinford Publications, LLC.